Welcome to the class. In today's lecture, we'll try to see about few internet applications. Okay, and oh, let us see what are the different some internet applications. Okay, and so and also see we will see some internet concepts, or what can we say, components. Okay, some components that are used in internet. Okay, so different components, or some sort of different servers. In previous class we have seen one of the application layer protocol, that is FTP, okay, file transfer protocol, operation of the file transfer protocol. And in today's lecture we will see some more internet applications, and also few hardware, that is operation of few hardwares and few software applications that are useful in internet. So coming to today's topic, let us see about web server. Okay, let us start with web server, operation of web server. Okay, now what is a server? What is a server? Serving. Okay, serving means server is the one which services you, so for example, even in hotels, or in some, they will call them as waiters, and waiters are also known as servers. They are also known as servers. Okay, so now they are calling as waiters, but the another name is server. So what does he do? What is the work of a basic, in reality? So what is the work of a server in hotel? He will come to you. Okay, he will come to you, and he will provide you the menu card, and he will then, sometimes you may directly, and he will take your order. Okay, what is your request? What is your request? So out of the available food items, what are the food items you need? He will take your request. After taking your request for food items, he will take that, and after some time he will provide you whatever food you have ordered. He responds with his food. Okay, so in a similarly, even in a computer network, you are having a many different kind of servers. You are having very different kinds of servers. Okay, so here server is similar to your system. A server has a CPU, a server has a mouse, not a server has a CPU processor. Okay, it has a memory. Okay, and it also has input output ports, it has RAM and all those things. Okay, so the difference between your normal system and a server is, in server will try to provide more number of, uh, server will have huge amount of memory. It will have huge amount of memory, so that will be in TB. Okay, in several terabytes. Okay, several terabytes of memory. Your server will have several terabytes of memory. And also a server at a time can handle a large number of input output requests. Okay, a large number of requests can be handled by a server. Okay, and also it will try to, most of the time your server will only, it will wait for the some, it will be waiting for some requests. It will be waiting for some requests, and whenever someone requests a server, it will try to provide with the required data. Okay, so here that is the thing. Okay, server is a system with large disk memory, and it has ability to support many users at a single given time. Okay, so in a server, your disk space is nothing but memory. Server contains a large amount of memory. Okay, so this memory is used for supporting different protocols and the related data. You are having different kinds of servers. Okay, you are having different kinds of servers. In this chapter we will see what are the different kinds of servers. Okay, we'll go through different kinds of servers, and during that time you can, at the end of the chapter, you can understand that there are different kinds of servers, and each server has its own operation. Now here you are having different kinds of servers, and each server has its own operation. So in a server, based on the nature of the server, it will have some related data. Okay, it maintains some related data. That means different servers will have different kind of data, and also a server will also have its own protocol. Different server will have its own protocol. Protocols means set of rules. Okay, so set of rules that govern the communication, that govern the particular communication. Okay, so commands, formats, okay, packet format, or the whatever the thing that will be governed by these protocols. Okay, so for example, here you can see there are, for example, I have given these two servers, FTP server. Okay, so as we have seen in the previous class, FTP, file transfer protocol. So what is the function of a file transfer protocol? In file transfer protocol, you are trying to upload or download files from server. You are trying to upload a file, so it can be a video file, it can be a image file, it can be a anything. So that uploading and downloading can be done by, okay, so for that, in FTP server, it will try to store the data that can be a document, image, or video. Okay, and it will have what in disk memory, it should also maintain some software, both at the client side and at the server side. It should have some software so that it can send and receive the it can send commands, and it can decode the commands. Okay, or it can execute the commands. The correct term is execute the commands. For that, you need to have some related software. That is, FTP client software will be present on FTP user. FTP client software will be presented the user on user computer, and FTP server software will be presented the server computer. Okay, so such kind of data, okay, to store such kind of related software, you should have some disk space. You should provide some disk space, so that disk space will be provided. Similarly, you are having DNS server. We will study about DNS server in the later chapters. So you see, even a DNS server, in simple case, DNS server is something similar to your telephone directory. Okay, or your contacts. So whatever you are having in your mobile phone, you are having a application known as contacts. In application contacts, what you are having, for each name you are having some specific number. For each name you are having a some specific number. So why? Because you cannot remember all the numbers, but you can remember names. You can remember many names rather than their mobile numbers. So you will try to assign the number to a name. So in a similarly, even in a DNS server, you are having IP address and assigned to each domain, that is each domain name. Okay, so it can be a website address, or sometimes it can be a anything. Okay, anything in your internet, it should have a IP address. Okay, so for particular, in case, suppose if you are trying to contact a web page or website. Okay, so that website will be stored at a server. Okay, so that server will have a IP address. So whenever you type the website address and whenever you type enter, first thing is, to contact to that server, you require a IP address. You require a IP address. So you cannot remember IP address, but your system, it will take that whatever you are entering the address URL, it will take that URL, and based on the URL, it will try to fetch the IP address. So DNS server will have what kind of data? It will have data. The data present in DNS server is IP address and the name that represents that IP address. So it is something similar to your address book, okay, or your telephone contacts list. Okay, so such kind of data. So different servers will have different kind of data. That is what I want to say. Okay, now here, see, let us see web server. Okay, web server. Similarly, now let us come to our topic, web server. Web server, it is a server which holds web pages of websites in its disk space, that is memory. Okay, so a web server will hold web pages. Okay, it will have web pages in its memory. It will have web pages in its memory. Okay, so that is the thing. So you are having a web server will have what kind of data? It will have web pages. It will have web pages related to a website. Okay, so whenever you want to suppose facebook.com or wikipedia.org, okay, these are websites. So for example, if you are going for wikipedia.org, there are different kinds of web pages. That is a website. In wikipedia.org you can search for many number of different things related to history, related to technology, related to a country geography, okay, related to sports, related to entertainment, related to some person. Okay, so you can see, if you would want to, if you are interested to know about some person, you can just type in that wikipedia, and it will give his date of birth, his achievements, famous persons, not a people like us, but famous persons. So you can get, so that is nothing but, it is having web pages different kinds of. So for example, if you take Virat Kohli, if you are searching for Virat Kohli in wikipedia, he is having his own page. Rohit Sharma, he is having his own page. Okay, so that will be updated, dynamically updated. Suppose if today Virat Kohli scores a century, so it will be updated, number of centuries, average, everything will be updated. Okay, so like that you are having different web pages. So this web pages, a website will have many number of web pages. Okay, to store such web pages, you require a web server. You require a web server in order to store the web pages, in order to store the web pages. Okay, so now www is nothing but world wide web. It is nothing but world wide web. Okay, so it is very famous application of internet. It is very famous application of internet. Okay, so here this www, that is world wide web, was first introduced in 1990s, around 1990s, 1992, 93, like that. So the main aim of this world wide web was to develop a application so that two people can exchange their information via internet. Okay, actually it was the development of world wide web was for to exchange the scientific information between two users who are separated by geographically, that means who are staying in different countries. There should be some sort of, they thought that there should be some sort of a new application where it is easy to share the information at one point with another point by using some web related some technology. Okay, by using internet technology. So for that, this www, that is world wide web, has was first started. Okay, the web application was first created just to support the exchange of scientific information between different users that were separated geographically. Okay, so here www is an internet application which is supported by web server at server side, and web browser at user side. Okay, so whenever you want to view a web page, okay, so you are having different applications, you are having different internet applications. For the different internet applications, you need to have different application present in your operating system. For example, um, if you want to listen to music, if you want to listen to a music in your mobile phone, if you want to listen online streaming, through online streaming, if you want to listen to music, so what do? There are different kinds of applications like Ghana, that Spotify, and many others, Wink. Okay, so there are many applications. So for example, if I want to view videos, online videos, so I am having YouTube, that is one application. Okay, and for example, if I want to browse a web page, then what is the application? You are having a browser. Whenever you want to view a web page, the application you will be using is a browser, web browser. Okay, so you are using a web browser at browser side, user side, at the user side. So even if it is a computer, PC, laptop, or even your mobile phone or notebook, you are having browsers. So there are different kinds of browsers, like your Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Internet Explorer. Okay, so and also what are the other, for if you come to Apple related products, you are having Safari. Okay, so there are different kinds of browsers. Okay, so different companies have come with different kinds of browsers. For example, if you take Microsoft, they have developed Internet Explorer. This Google has developed Google Chrome. Mozilla has developed Firefox. Okay, like the different but all this, the common thing of about all these applications is they are used to browse, they are used to view a web page, they are used to view a web page. Okay, so that is the thing. Now so that is the thing at server side to uh, so at whatever the at server side also you should have some side, some kind of supporting software which will support the access of web page. Okay, so at the server side you are having web server, at server side you are having web server, at the user side you are having web browser. Okay, so here both server and web browser will have some supporting software. Both server and browser will have some supporting software. Okay, so this web browser, it will have that supporting software, and even our web server will also have some supporting software. Okay, always what for a web page, the request will be made from the user side. A user will request for a web page, a user will request for a web page. Without requesting, a server will not send any web page. Okay, so only when a user requests for a web page, then only the server will respond and it will try to reply with the web page. Okay, so in that way, so the general communication between a server, a web server and a web browser is in the form of request and reply. It is in the form of request and reply. So a web browser will always try to, a web browser will always request. It will always request, whereas a web server will always reply. Web server will always reply. Okay, so here you should have supporting software so that the requests made are in the form of okay sometimes generally the commands also will be exchanged between the user and server. Okay, so even while we are dealing with FTP also, I have said, we have seen you are having some set of commands that are exchanged between server and user, so that for uploading and downloading of files, for uploading and downloading of files, there are some uh, commands. Okay, there are some commands. Okay, so even similarly, even for a web page, in order to open a web page, in order to get a web page, in order to upload a web page, there are different kinds of commands. We will see in this chapter only. You are having a topic. In the topic we'll try to cover what are the commands that are required to that are used in uh, web related so for example, if you want to view a web page, you want to upload a web page, or you want to download a web page, what are the different applications that with different commands that are used, we will also see in this chapter. Okay, so here HTTP commands are exchanged between a user and a server to access a web page. So in order in web related application, that is in order to access a web page by a web browser, a web browser, in order to access a web page from web server, a web browser, in order to access a web page from web server, it has to send some HTTP commands. HTTP commands are exchanged between a user and server in order to access a web page. Okay, so that is the thing you need to have. So here, in order to access a web page, what commands in the previous command, FTP commands are different, and this HTTP commands are different. So, okay, so HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. hypertext transfer protocol. HTTP stands for hypertext transfer protocol. So this protocol is used for accessing web page. This protocol is used to access a web page. Okay. So HTTP client software is present at user or host. At host, you are having HTTP client software. At host, you are having HTTP client software, and at the server side, you are having HTTP server software. HTTP server software. So why you are having this software means, for example, for a proper communication, for example, let us take, you know Telugu and your friend knows Telugu, then it is easy to communicate. You can easily, whatever you are telling, he will be able to easily understand whatever you are telling, that then he will be able to easily understand what is your problem. So suppose you know Telugu whereas your friend knows Hindi, and you do not know Hindi, and he does not know Telugu. So he knows only Hindi, you know only Telugu. Then can you properly communicate? You cannot, right? So in a similar way, even whatever the commands that are transmitted from by a user, okay, those are HTTP commands. So that commands can be, what command should be transferred will be only understood by your HTTP client software. You will be just using mouse clicks, or you will just be using keyboard enter button, okay, something like that. So based on your typing and based on your mouse clicks, what is the command that has to be transmitted to the server, it can only your HTTP client will have that, it will have that understanding, or it will have the idea of what is the command that has to be transmitted to the server side. So and at the server side also, once the command is received at the server, it has to be processed properly. So at the server side also, you should have someone who knows the HTTP commands, here HTTP server will know what is the HTTP commands. Okay, so that is the reason you are having client software and server software. Not only HTTP protocol, any protocol, FTP, SMTP, POP, whatever the protocols we are going, we will be learning. For that you will have client software and server software. Okay, so here HTTP protocol takes care of communication between a client and server. Okay, so here web server will be waiting for request from user. That means web server will be passively waiting. Web server is not an active participant. Okay, it does not initiate the communication. Web server does not initiate the communication. It is the web browser that will initiate the communication. A web browser will initiate the communication with the web server. Okay, so here you can see this is a model where you are having a user. This is the user. Okay, and user is having web browser application, he is having a web browser application, and here you are having a web server which is having a serving machine which is having a web server. Now here a user will connect to the server, your browser will connect to a web server, and it will request a web page. So once the web server receives the request, then web server will respond back with the required web page. Okay, so first in this thing, first the communication will be initiated by the browser. Your browser will ask for a certain web page, it will request, and once the request reaches the web server will respond, So in a web server or in any computer communication, always the communication model will be in request and response. Okay, so here always the web browser will request and web server will respond. Okay, so that is the thing. So once again, these are nothing but it is a TCP IP connection. Okay, through a TCP connection, the web browser will request, and the same TCP connection will be used by the web server, and it will reach back to the web browser. So let us see what is working of a web server. Let us see what is the working of a web server. Okay, so first, as I said, a web server will be waiting for the request from the browser for web page. It will be in a waiting state, so it will be just waiting. So whoever will ask, okay, so once it receives any request, so once it receives the request, the first thing it will do is, at the server side, it will first send whatever the request it has reached, whatever the request it has received, that request will be sent to the HTTP server software, that will be sent to the HTTP server software. So the HTTP server software present on the server will check what are the HTTP commands that it has received from the browser. It will see what are the HTTP commands that are received from the browser. So after receiving the HTTP commands, it will process your HTTP server software will process those commands. It will process those commands. Generally, whenever if you want to get a web page, if you want to browse a web page, so the command that used is get command. Get, it will use get command. Okay, so after that, so HTTP command will commands are processed by the HTTP server software. So after processing the commands, then your HTTP, then it will know what is the web page the user is requesting, what is the web page the user is requesting. So it will, then it will hand over to operating system. So operating system will understand that, so and that HTTP server software will say, it will hand over the next step to operating system that is present at the server, and it will request the operating system to fetch so and so web page. So user is requesting so and so web page, please send that web page, please send that web page. Okay, so here operating system will fetch the web page. Now in web server, the web page will be in a code. Okay, it is not in a simple English. Your web pages are created by using some language. Okay, your web pages are created by using a language, it is known as HTML language. HTML language is used to create your web page. So earlier only HTML was used. Earlier only HTML was used. Now along with HTML they are using many other languages like SQL, Java, okay, your PHP. Okay, so many different kinds of languages are used to create a web page, but definitely you will be using HTML. HTML is compulsory. HTML is almost compulsorily used to create a web page. So in a web server, you will not have web page similar to your in English. It will have the HTML tags. It will have the HTML tags. Okay, so that HTML tags will be HTML tags will be recovered from the server memory. Okay, the server operating system will, based on the request of the web browser, what is the web page the browser is asking. So and so is the web page the browser is asking. So it will try to fetch the HTML tags of the related web page. Okay, whatever the HTML tags are there, that HTML tags from the browser will be from the memory of the server will be accessed. From the memory of the server, the HTML tags of the web page will be accessed, and that HTML tags are sent to the browser, and then that HTML tags are sent to the browser over the TCP connection that is established. Okay, so whatever the HTTP commands that are received, so at first step the server is receiving HTTP commands, right? Okay, it is receiving HTTP commands. So to receive a HTTP commands, there should be some TCP connection. So whatever the TCP connection from which the HTTP commands are received by the server, same TCP connection will be used by the server to respond back to the web browser. So same TCP connection will be used to respond back to the web browser. Okay, so the the response of a web server will be HTML tags. It will send the HTML tags of the web page. It will send the HTML tags of the web page. Okay, after once the HTML tags are sent to the web browser, once the HTML tags are sent to the web browser, then the TCP connection will be disconnected. Okay, once the HTML tags are sent back to the web browser, the TCP connection will be disconnected. It will be disconnected. So here at the user end, the browser will receive the HTML tags. It will receive the HTML tags, and after receiving the HTML tags, it will be decoded. It will be converted into readable format. So your web browser is nothing but it will have a software that will that will execute the HTML language, HTML code, that will execute the HTML code, and it will convert it into a readable format, and that readable format will be displayed on your screen. Okay, that will be displayed on your screen. Now the TCP connection between server and browser gets disconnected. Actually, the TCP connection between the browser and server will be disconnected once the HTML tags are received by the browser. Once the HTML tags are received by the browser, the TCP connection between the browser and server will be getting disconnected. Okay, and after that, once again the web server will be waiting in a passively waiting for the connection. Once the after sending the data, the work of the web server is completed, and it once again waits for any new requests. Any new requests are coming to it, it will be in a waiting state. So this is the working of your web server. Okay, this is the working of your web server. Okay, so I think you are clear with this concept. So if you are having any doubt, please once again go through it. Okay, once again go through the video, you will be able to understand. So this is a thing here, just a sort of block diagram between a web server and a client. Here, see, you can see a client will send the request, HTTP request, and you will get the HTTP response. Okay, so that is the thing. Now let us see what is a web browser. Okay, web browser is nothing but it acts as a uh, so I think within these sessions we will not be able to complete this web browser. So let us go to another topic, that is HTTP commands. Okay, HTTP commands, and later on in the next session we'll come back to this web browser. So why? Because uh, time constraint, you are having time constraint. So let us go to HTTP commands. Okay, I will come back to this thing. So HTTP commands. Okay, so what are HTTP commands? So HTTP commands are used to whenever you are trying to uh, perform any operation with a web page. Whenever you are going to perform any operation with a web page, then you will be going for a HTTP commands. Then you will be going for a HTTP commands. Okay, so here first command is get. Okay, get command. Okay, so whenever a user wants to access a web page, open a web page, so suppose if I enter any www.youtube.com or any website URL. Okay, any website URL in my in that when if I type any web address or web URL in that space provided in the web page, so and if I click on enter, so internally your HTTP client software, it will generate this get command. It will attach this get command. It will attach the get command before that web address. It will attach this get command. Okay, so that meaning is the browser will understand the HTTP client. So it is the meaning of this thing is, so and so web page is wanted by the user. So and so web page should be transferred from the server to the user. It should be downloaded onto the user's browser. It should be downloaded onto the user's browser. Okay, so for that you will be using get command. Okay, next command is head. Okay, so head command is used to know the uh, header of, it is used to read the header of a page. Okay, so it is used to read the header of the page. Now what is the header of the page means, in header of the page it will have what is the recent update. Okay, if you are updating a web page, so as I said, okay, so for example, if you, there are two types of web pages, static web page and dynamic web pages. Okay, if you take your mm, example of static web page can be, for example, if you take Newton's law, I have created a new web page for Newton's law. So Newton's law remains as it is, it will not change. So it is a static web page. It is a static web page. No, there is no need of updating it because it has been already proved and it will always remain the same. So there is no need to prove it. There is no need to change the Newton's law. Okay, so in such case you will be using static web page. So some web pages are dynamic, as I said, like Wikipedia, or for example your eNadu. Okay, all these things are, they are static dynamic web page. Okay, so header will have the information about when the page is recently updated. It will have the information like when the page is recently updated or recently modified. Okay, so to get such information, you will have head, you will use the head command. Okay, you will use the head command. Okay, so I think you are able to understand. Okay, head command is that thing. Okay, and next you are having put command. Okay, so put command is used to, is the exact opposite of get command. Okay, so in get command, whenever you want to view a web page, you are using get command. Okay, put command is nothing but whenever you want to upload a web page, okay, so whenever you want to upload a create a web page, whenever you want to create a web page, you will use put command, okay, so that is the thing. So whenever you want to update upload a command, you will be using a put command. Whenever you want to upload a web page, you will be using a put command. So here the data will be transferred from user to server. Okay, so whenever you are uploading, a web page, you are creating a web page actually. Whenever you are creating a web page, so see, on your web browser you will only have a graphical user interface like click here, submit, like that. So whenever you are typing that buttons, whenever you are pressing over that buttons, automatically your HTTP client software will generate this put command. It will generate this put command and it will send it along with the data. It will send that along with the data, so that the server side software will understand that the data, it should receive the data, and that received data should be stored in the server disk memory. Okay, whenever a server reads put command, it will understand that user browser is going to send me some data, and that data should be stored in the disk memory. Okay, so for that purpose you will be using put command. Next you are having post. Okay, post command is used for updating a web page. Post command is used for updating a web page. Put command is used for creating a new web page. Put command is used for creating a new web page, whereas post command is used for updating already to update already existing web page. You are already having a web page, and to update that web page, that for that you should use post command. Okay, so that is the thing, you should use a post command. Okay, so I think you understood what is the difference between put and post. Put is for creating a new web page, post is for to update a already existing web page. Okay, so that is the thing. Next, moving on, we are having delete. Okay, so delete, suppose delete, I think you are very, from the name itself you can understand. Okay, this command allows a browser to send a http request for deleting particular web page. Suppose you have created a web page, now you want to delete it. So whenever you click on delete, internally the HTTP client software will generate a command known as delete. It will transfer that delete command over your TCP link to the web server. It will transfer that TCP command over your web server, to the web server, and at the web server end the server will uh, decode, it will execute that command. Okay, the command received from the user side will be executed. Once that command is executed, the web page will be deleted. Whatever the web page you are clicking the delete button, that will be completely erased from the server memory. Okay, so but sometimes you need to have, in order to delete a particular web page, you need to have some sort of authentication. So you cannot only, for example, if I am running a website, I will have the authority, I will only have the authority to delete or modify. Okay, it depends, right? For example, if you look at that Enadu web page, or some news web page. So if I want to write any web page, if I want to write any news on the web page, so I have to be a person from that press, from that specific press. Okay, if I am maintaining, if I am having a newspaper Enadu, if I am the owner of newspaper Enadu, then I can only write whatever the news I want to insert. I will have I only will have the authority. Okay, I can only write whatever the news that should be present on that web page. You cannot write, a normal person cannot write, he can only just view the web page. He will not have any authority to write the news. You can only view the web page. Whatever the thing I want to publish as a news on the web browser, broadcast the news as on in that Enadu, I can do it. So in order to put, or in order to create a web page, in order to post updates, in order to delete the web page, there are some authorities, authorization. That means some sort of user IDs and password must be there. But sometimes, if you take Wikipedia, even you can update the Wikipedia page. But it will be ratified. Later. Whatever the changes you are made, some experts will look into that, and they will check whether the person has made a correct change, or whether the person is just have okay. So whatever the changes you have made, they will be ratified. Okay, so something like that. So for deleting, you need to have some sort of authorization. Okay, to delete a web page from web server, you need to have a authorization, that is user ID and password authentication. Okay, next you are having link command. Okay, link command is used whenever you are trying to create a hyperlink. Then it will use link command. okay, to whenever you are trying to establish a hyperlink, then it will use a link command. And next, finally, you are having unlink command. Unlink command, this command is used to remove the existing hyperlinks between two web pages. So we will discuss about hyperlinks in this chapter itself. At that time I will explain what is a hyperlink, don't worry. So but just here, link command is a command that will be generated when you are creating hyperlink. When you are creating a hyperlink, it will generate a link command, and whenever you are generating unlinking the hyperlink, it will use unlink command. Okay, so this is about various HTTP commands that are used. So the important thing is, seen from exam perspective, they will just ask what are the commands, list commands, HTTP command. So it is enough if you just list the commands like get, head, put, post. You need not write what is their function. If you write, it is well and good, but even though if you are not writing, you will be awarded marks. So if you, that is the thing. So just at least try to remember the commands. Even if you forget their operation, it is okay. Just try to remember what are the commands, what are the HTTP commands. Okay, so let us end today's session, and let us meet in the next session, and let us go through few more internet related applications and various software and hardware that are supporting these internet related applications. Thank you.